But I can't watch it on TV.
No.
I don't mind playing it on PlayStation, but I can't sit and watch it on TV.
Yeah, I don't believe I've ever played it on PlayStation. Yeah. Evan plays golf on PlayStation all the time.
Of course, Evan plays golf on PlayStation. Evan's Evan.
That's not nice. You know, he made a comment. So Evan did listen to the last podcast because he made a comment about how Tori threw him under the bus.
Making fun of him about the hot dog thing with the 4th of July stuff.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
About him being the one that ate most of the hot dogs.
That's fun.
It's not wrong.
It is kind of accurate.
If he looks out his kitchen window and sees me standing at the grill, I get a text message. Got any dogs on there?
He is a big wiener.
He is. I ought to just put him on the grill.
Well, we get like 2 bites off of him.
Dude, I haven't been able to bring myself to. Normally, I would post all of his selfies on our Facebook page. I haven't been able to bring myself to post that last selfie picture he did on a job site because it just looks unnatural.
Oh.
Evan looks unnatural.
Now, his arm. Well, my phone's up there as a camera, so I can't do anything about it. But his arm, he looks like a used up Stretch Armstrong toy. Like his arm, it just looks like,
is it all like skimpy and like noodly?
And 3 feet longer than what it actually is. It's something about the angle that he took that picture, and it just.
He probably took it on 0.5. It makes everything look really freaking weird.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need any help to look weird.
Hey, there's what we need, Eddie.
What? Oh, holy smokes!
We need to buy some used fire truck.
I don't believe we do.
12,000 gallons.
Okay, no.
I think we could get some renting done with that.
I think you blow the roof off a house with that thing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to tell you a story. I know I've told Tori this story
We could put some reducers on that.
No. So when I was a cop in Shepherdstown, that short period of time I was down there, we got the fire department got a call for possible fire there on German Street. And it was a volunteer fire station, and somebody, I don't know who, I don't want to know who, somebody accidentally left one of the valves open on the ladder truck. So when they charged the truck with water from the fire hydrant, the nozzle that's on the end of the ladder was charged, and it shot water out. Well, it just so happened that the university police was there to help with traffic control, and they had the door to the brand new SUV that the university police department had. They had it open, and that nozzle was pointed right at that door.
Oh.
And it filled that cruiser with water. And like me and the university cop were standing there, and we heard the unit charging up because we were between that hose and the door when they charged it, and we heard it, and we both looked up and was like, uh-oh. And we jumped out of the way, and that stream of water hit that door and just destroyed every piece of electronic equipment inside that cruiser.
Well, I do know from my uncles being firefighters, they don't go around vehicles. If you've got a vehicle that's parked between the engine or the pumper and the hydrant, and it's in a space it's not supposed to be, they're going through your windows to run hose.
Yeah.
They're not running hose around the cars.
Yeah, they.
I just learned something the other day that all the years that I've been listening to firefighters and around law enforcement and heroes and stuff like that, I did not know that the fire hydrants were color coded for a purpose. I always thought that the fire hydrants were just color coded, like based on whatever city colors they wanted. You know, like if a city was a certain color,
Okay.
had certain colors. No, so like if you see a green, a blue, a red, or a white or an orange fire hydrant, it's telling the firefighters how many gallons a minute is coming through that pipe.
Huh.
So I just learned that the other day. I was just flipping through something, and I was like, oh, well, that explains. Like, I never knew why there were some orange and some yellow and some red. But yeah, it has to do with how many gallons per minute is coming into that hydrant.
Well, I don't know how many gallons per minute were coming through the hydrant in Shepherdstown, but I do know that it filled that cruiser up with water in about 3.5 seconds.
Well, I mean, I don't have justification for that. Anyway, we started recording like 30 stories ago.
Hey, that's fine.
So, we are starting a new mini-series. This is part 1 of said mini-series, and it's going to cover estimates and follow-ups.
The mini-series is covering estimates and follow-ups, or the episode is?
I said this is the first part, and it is going to cover... Pay attention
Yeah,
before you
usually
ask
it is to aggravate
questions.
her. It's like my favorite thing in the
Pay
world to do.
attention.
Oh, I'm paying attention. I just knew how to push her buttons.
I quit.
For those of you who don't know, because obviously we don't record these kind of things, she kicked me in the back this morning, so she kind of deserved that one.
You deserve getting kicked in the back.
What does a father do to deserve being kicked in the back?
Be you...
Anyway,
Who slammed who into a bed frame?
that was a long time ago. You need to learn to let things go. And you started that fight. You were hanging on my back, and just so
Your
happened I
arm.
didn't get enough lift.
Your
I
arm.
wonder what that is, because my 15-year-old has a habit of starting stuff and then running away from it.
Yeah.
You never let go of the fact that Riley laughed at you falling down the stairs, and you want me to let go
Well,
of
that's
something that
because
happened a couple months
that's because I'm
ago?
old and fat, could have broke my neck. She didn't even care if I was okay. She just wanted to make sure. Like, I at least checked on you after you hit the I mean, I was laughing when I was checking on you, but I checked on you.
Yeah.
I check on you when you get hurt. I
Well,
laugh
she
while I
didn't.
do it. Well,
She did not. She went directly to
you
grab
let
me.
go of nothing. You will make fun of me for something that happened when I was 2 until the day I die. So-
Well, I mean, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
But
That's
I'm
what
not
a dad's
allowed
supposed
to.
to do. I'll just wait till your wedding.
Oh yeah, that's gonna.
You're
be...
not invited.
Oh, we're coming.
You're not invited.
Oh yeah, we are.
If I'm paying for it.
If you're paying for dinner. But you know what? I'm about sick of rain.
Yeah, the first couple storms we needed. These last few,
Have been a bunch of bull crap. It put so much rain down here on I think Sunday evening. I have never seen it put that amount of rain down at one time. I looked out in the weather vane and it was like 1 3/4 of rain in just a little over like 3 hours, 4 hours.
yeah.
I mean, I had water. You know, my basement has never really taken water, but I've always had water just like kind of seep through the bottom of the cracks and stuff if we get a lot of ground saturation. But like I had puddles of water coming through the cracks in the basement because the water had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
That's the first time ever that I've come close to overfilling the pool, so having the pool overflow.
Oh yeah.
I probably had
Yes.
I probably had to take 3 inches of water out of the pool. It was ridiculous. And of course now it's like 110% humidity.
Yeah.
But you're okay now that your air
Alright,
conditioner's nice and working.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Mason.
The whole piece of paper thing literally got dragged out of my room for a piece of paper.
When your house is consistently above 80 and your system
That's a
that the
no-go.
builders put in was not big enough, like you know how with an air return you're supposed to be able to actually have the suction and feel it.
Yeah.
We never have had that. So part of when I tested the new system was I took a piece of paper and put it up to the air return and it sucked it right to the return and held it to the grate. And it was late and I knew it would aggravate her if I made her get out of bed, so I made Tori get out just to come see the paper stuck to the vent.
That's alright. We call Riley Barnabas, after Barnabas the vampire, because she never comes out of the room or out of the basement. So we made Barnabas come out last night.
Sounds like somebody I know.
We made her come out into the sunlight yesterday.
Okay.
Well, have you ever seen Tori in a pair of shorts? She's
Oh, yeah.
translucent.
Yeah,
If I
Riley's
go
opaque.
outside, I burn.
Well, that's what happens to vampires.
Yeah,
I
that's
am
about the
not
same way.
Oh my goodness.
Riley's either pink or transparent.
But see, they're special vampires. They don't feed off of blood. They suck our energy and our souls.
Yeah,
You have to
teenage
have souls to
vampires.
begin with for that to work.
Well, you've had 16 years. You probably sucked every bit of it that I had. Anyway, you want to get me on a... You
Okay, if
want to
you
get
two
on
would
your
hush,
story, or...
hush up.
Ah,
Stop talking.
fine.
It's my job. Anyway, what?
Look,
There went my
stop
words.
talking and plug up, and then she starts... What did you hire her for?
You
I didn't.
hired me.
It was your idea.
Sure. Well, I mean, so, you make some, you make some, you miss some. You take a shot and hope it works
Y'all
out.
won't let me quit, so I don't want to hear about it.
Did we stall enough for you to remember what you wanted to talk about?
Yes, vending
Okay.
machines.
Vending machines.
Yes, vending
Are we
machines.
buying some?
Alright, there's an inside joke on that. I'll tell you about later.
Alright.
I'm not going to call it out on here. Anyway, so, was it LA?
It was somewhere.
I think it was
I'm the one
LA.
that found it.
The important part of the story is a canine cop. Pup had been on the job for 6 months, and he located a vending machine full of heroin and guns.
It wasn't at the White House, was it?
Don't think. Yeah, it could have been. Possibility.
They wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
83.
9 million cameras. I don't know what the actual camera count is, but all those cameras at the White House.
Like,
Fentanyl. It was fentanyl, heroin, and rifle in a vending machine.
that's exactly what you need in a vending machine, right next to the M&Ms.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there, get me some M&Ms, get me a dime bag.
Is there a
Twinkie and a rifle. Yep, sounds like it.
is the vending machine right next to it? Does that got your paraphernalia in your
You got your lighters and your needles
God,
and a spoon.
Oh, dear
this
Lord.
country.
You know what the worst part about it is? I bet they put a plastic spoon.
Probably.
Oh,
I can't figure out why it all got into my skin. I was using a spoon. Well, it's out in LA, so they probably got a paper spoon.
Yeah, I can't get the story to load now, but to read the better details about it. But it's Canine Bosco who found it. So good job.
Good job, Canine.
Good job,
Bosco.
Canine Bosco. There was 15 pounds of heroin.
dear God.
15 pounds.
Whoever is the owner of that vending machine had a bad day. That's all I can tell you. You got that's not a state charge. That's federal.
Folks, that is what we call distribution.
Yes. Possession with intent.
For you kids out there taking notes.
If it wasn't, heroin, fentanyl, and a rifle, or it's a good idea, but not exactly something you want to
I don't
distribute.
even know if it's that great of an idea.
I've been out of I don't think that's a good idea
It's
at all.
not the best idea, but
I've seen better.
I've been out of the game for quite some time, so I don't know what the federal sentencing guidelines are when it comes to heroin, but I know
They probably get out on the West Coast. They'll probably get a key to the city.
they might. They very well may. I know the last person I dealt with federal only had a pound of marijuana and a crap ton of pills, and he got something like 600 months.
Whew.
Can you imagine what you're gonna get with?
That's a minute.
15 pounds, you ain't never seeing a day again.
There's a lot of
You get the
adding
wrong
factors to that, but I've
Yeah,
got a
but-
sneaking suspicion if they put their heroin in a vending machine that they've probably got priors.
It's probably a good assumption.
I'd say that's a good guess.
I got a question. I don't mean to get to meddling because we don't do politics or religion on here. But the most secure facility in the world, outside Fort Knox, right? The White House. You literally have to go through 13 checkpoints to get into any point of the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention there's 8 million cameras around the place and a log at every turn. So the Secret Service should know at any given second exactly where anyone is in the White House, correct?
Yes.
How do you not have developed any suspects for a bag of cocaine left in the West Wing hallway?
I
That
don't
is
get
not a
that.
building you want cocaine in.
Just
That
as
is
a
embarrassing.
just as a former cop,
There's a suspect.
that just don't pass the sniff test.
There's a suspect.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say on
Yeah,
that.
we all know where that one's going.
Just before you
Well,
open something.
yeah, we don't need to. As Justin Martin from the Duck Dynasty Duck Call Room says, we don't need to get to meddling.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, all right, are you ready for your diabetes story for today?
Yeah, why not?
So Guinness World Book of Records, there's a Mexican company set the Guinness World Book of Records by creating a 1,429 pound marshmallow.
I can feel my pancreas dying.
It's a marshmallow. It weighed more than a grand piano.
Ah!
Dolces Mazapan de la Rosa created the marshmallow.
Say that 3 times fast.
No, I'm not gonna, because I got it right the first time.
That was lucky.
Plaza Fonda de Dores in Guadalajara for
Say that one's 3 times
the
fast.
county of Jalisco in Mexico, their 200th anniversary.
I don't think I'm going to be eating any s'mores here soon.
The company said it took a team of about 100 people and around 53 hours to make the marshmallow. Weighing more than
How big a graham cracker would you need for that s'more?
I don't know. They ought to get with the Pizza Hut people who made that pizza
Yeah,
and figure out how to make a crust.
that's not a bad idea.
But what do you do
Yeah,
with
it
a
is. That's a
1,000
whole lot
pound?
of diabetes.
The only thing I can imagine in my head is,
Like, break it apart. And
yeah, you put a hand grenade in the middle of the marshmallow, and now you got a scene like in the Ghostbusters when they blew up the Marshmallow Man.
It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Nobody steps on a church in my town.
See, that's how you know what's wrong with us when the first thing that came to our mind of getting rid of the marshmallow. It's not donate it, not cook it. It's put a grenade in the
Donate
middle
it
and
how?
blow it up.
How the heck do you donate a marshmallow that weighs more than a grand
I
piano?
don't know what you're gonna do with it.
Well, I mean, you said it. I mean, wherever it is, I'm sure it still is.
It can't even taste
Because
good.
how do you pick up a marshmallow that's that heavy with a cream?
Like
No,
that.
because it's going to pour right
Yeah.
through it.
Yep.
You don't. You just
So you leave it set where it's at and
You
let
just rip
people
it
walk
apart.
up and come and take a nibble.
Personal spoon.
Yeah. No re-spoons.
You got the homeless folks out there with the torches, just charring them a piece.
Norman.
Oh. Blech.
Wow. Okay.
Can we not talk about people eating off the same marshmallow anymore? Thanks.
Yeah, we're good with that.
That's a little bit foul.
Alright, so you need the graham cracker to match. And the Hershey bar.
But you need 2 graham crackers because that's how s'mores are made with 2.
Well, how are you going to get it underneath of it? You're just gonna have to deal with it.
They should have done that before.
You're just going to have to deal with it and have half a sandwich.
Because the chocolate goes on the bottom too.
No, you're just going to have half a sandwich. You can't have a full s'more sandwich.
Okay, they just need to redo this whole thing.
And
graham cracker
you know
first,
somebody is
then
going to
giant
wind up
chocolate bar.
in the emergency room for overdosing on marshmallow.
That's a new one. Walk into the
How did you go to the hospital to
What'd
see
you
the
hear
girl?
for?
Well, my blood sugar level was 687.
1,000.
what did you eat? Did you eat a couple bags? No, I ate not marshmallow.
How are you in pancreas failure? Well, let me tell you what happened.
Who comes up with the idea, or who thinks it's a good idea to make giant food?
Well, I mean, I get trying to set the world record, and I mean it's kind of cool, but I don't think anybody thinks about the after
What
plan.
do you do with a marshmallow? Like
Yeah.
the pizza I get because
Like
it's
you
fed a
can-
bunch of people with it.
Yeah.
But
What are you gonna do? Give a bunch of people marshmallows?
Hey, I like my plan.
I mean, you might as well.
Just blow it
Yeah.
up.
Or just rip it up and put it in a bunch of bags and just throw marshmallows at people. Here, have a bag of marshmallows.
What if it gets hot that day and that thing starts melting?
Oh, could you imagine the stickiness all over the street? I want to drop a big marshmallow in the middle of Martinsburg Square.
So
Right in the fountain.
Because that sounds like a good idea.
Oh, I'll
Were you
never
working
forget the
the
day
night
when
that
they put
somebody-
the bubbles in the
Yeah.
fountain.
somebody filled the fountain down.
Oh,
down
the
with
Martinsburg
balls.
city manager had an aneurysm. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
When they made the intersection brick, there, King and
Yeah.
Queen, and the fountain, all the bubbles on the brick made that thing slick, and I
Oh,
mean
it
slick,
was
and I
so
forgot
funny.
about it the next night, and I'm running code down through there, and my car is getting all half cockeyed sideways, and I hit them bricks.
I mean, bubbles were everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Do they know who put the bubbles in
No,
there?
it was somebody.
Okay,
Some
well, that's kind of
nefarious character.
Nefarious.
Well, and that
no,
was-
funny character.
It was hilarious.
That-
I mean, the city managers didn't think so, but
But
we all thought it was hysterical.
But the worst part is, we all knew it was going to happen.
Eventually.
There used to be a fountain downtown, and they took it out because people kept putting laundry soap in it and causing it to overflow with bubbles.
Yep.
And then, so they took the fountain out, and then they decided, well, let's put the fountain back in now. 20 years later. If people were doing it 20 years ago, they're going to do it again.
They're probably going to find more creative things to do now.
I don't even want to know what's happened in that fountain since we left. Because I know what happened in that fountain when we were there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nah, I'm good.
The one day I saw Skillet taking a bath in the fountain, I was like, no thank you. I'm out on that fountain deal.
That thing sounds absolutely foul.
I haven't eaten at a certain restaurant. I'm not gonna call them out, but I remember going in for an alarm call and I walked around the corner and Skillet was standing there prepping food with no gloves on. I was like, I will never, ever eat anything that comes out of this kitchen ever again.
No.
Who is this person that y'all keep?
He's a local, Martinsburg local homeless guy. Like, interesting character.
He's funny.
He's funny. He's been on YouTube.
Yeah.
Intentionally?
Yeah, singing country roads.
Singing country roads. But yeah, you have to look it up.
No, I don't think I think it's good.
Then you'll be good.
Well, I think our story time gets be wrapped here.
Yeah, it kind of fades a little bit. So we're going to let you hear a little bit from our sponsors, and then we'll come back and talk to you about some more stuff in a little bit.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Eddie with Blue Line Pressure Washing. I want to take a minute to appreciate the fact that you guys are listening and watching our podcast, and I also wanted to tell you about a company that I've been working with here recently called Home Service Business Coaching. I am not being paid to tell you about this. There's no sponsorship or any other deal worked out between Blue Line Pressure Washing or myself and Home Service Business Coach. That being said, David and the entire team at HSBC have helped me elevate my business to the next level. They've helped me develop systems for my business. They've helped me scale, as well as provided guidance and mentorship in all facets of the business. It's not a how-to program. It's not going to teach you how to do the job. It's not going to teach you how to wash a roof or how to wash a house. It's to teach you how to become a CEO, basically, and scale your business and do it effectively. If you want to be more profitable, get out of the service vehicles and put the right people in place to work in your business so that you can focus on becoming a CEO and growing your business, I highly recommend this program. It is, it's a high ticket item. You get what you pay for, but it is worth it. I've been in the program for several months now. I've scaled my business, grown exponentially since I've been in it, and it's definitely worth it. And Coach David, Landon, Chemo, Jackson, AJ, all top tier business coaches in sales and helping you scale and figure out what you need to do and helping you clear some of the bottlenecks in your business. So if you want to be like me and stop being in the truck all day and get in the office, surround yourself with a great team of rockstar employees, then you need to surround yourself with a great business coach. And I strongly recommend Home Service Business Coach. Their link will be in the description of the episode on the podcast on YouTube and also on Anchor Podcast. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time. We'll talk soon.
Alright, and we're back. And before we get into our next topic, I would like to clarify they are not our sponsors. They are just a company that we like. I read the paper, and the paper says the wrong word, and I should never not read the paper by now. Anyway, so we are going to watch something here. We're going to get their reactions to it. I've already seen it. I sent it to my mom so that she could show it to them, but we're going to see how they feel about it.
I got a feeling I ain't gonna like it.
Sunny day, on a bright and sunny day. Two little bears came out to play. Two little bears came out to play. Gathered up all their money. Gathered up all their money. Bought themselves a jar of honey. Bought themselves a jar of honey. But the fat one ate it all. But the fat one ate it all. Push the little one, watch him fall. Push the little one, watch him fall. Now the fat one's on the run. Now the fat one's on the run. Cause the little one, cause the little one, cause the little one's got a gun. Cause the little one, cause the little one, cause the little one's got a gun. Yogi Bear is dead. Yogi Bear is dead. Boo shot him in the head.
That escalated quickly.
Yogi Bear is dead. Yogi Bear is dead. Boo shot him in the head. Boo shot him in the head. Ranger Rick stood on a hill. Ranger Rick stood on a hill. Ranger Ricky saw the kill. Ranger Ricky saw the kill. Now the Ranger's on the run. Now the Ranger's on the run. Cause the little one, cause the little one, cause the little one's got a gun.
Oh, he's going to kill Rick.
By the way, to
What?
clarify, he does shoot Ranger Rick. This dude, he writes military cadences, and he uses it to deal with his PTSD.
Well, I mean, I'm all good with that, but why Yogi gotta die?
Why gotta kill Yogi Bear? All he wanted to do was have a dang picnic.
Well, I mean, I guess Boo Boo got tired of him running away with all the food.
What is wrong with you?
All I did was find it, okay? It popped up on my TikTok about
Wait,
30
I was
times.
all into it till I found out Yogi got a lead deficiency.
So, TikTok's not my thing, but as I understand it, its algorithm picks up on the things that you like and pay attention
Yeah, I
to.
like
So
it.
what kind of dark crap are you
It's not the
paying
fact that
attention-
it's dark. I listen to a lot of songs, and because it's a song, it popped up.
I don't know what to tell you on that one. I just feel bad
Like,
for Yogi now.
the
I don't know
song-
what to do.
The song that was on before was a remix, or was a mashup of my something from Tangled. I can't remember
that's
what
helpful.
song that's called. What song is called?
So,
And How to Train Your Dragon.
all I can picture at the moment is Yogi yelling, "Hey, boo boo, I'll give you the next burger or something." I mean,
Hey, catch an eye jammy. What the? I guess he's a drug now.
what?
I don't know what to think about that. I kind of feel bad for Yogi now. He didn't deserve a gang initiate, you know.
What was the auction price for the Yogi Bear rug?
Boo Boo's now he's now on the run, getting jumped into MS-13 or something.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, I wonder how
Did
Ranger
it catch
Rick is
Boo Boo
feeling
by the
though.
end of the...
No, the end of it is that Ranger Rick is dead, and so is Yogi.
Ah, here we are. What we
That ain't
killing
right.
Ranger Rick for?
That ain't right.
That's just like the
Oh.
preview of the whole song. The whole song is only like 20 seconds longer than the video was, but that's the first half of it. He writes a crap ton of them.
What is wrong with you?
Me? All I'm doing
I
is
mean,
telling you about
I'll give it up to that guy. His cadence was on point.
Yeah.
Like, he writes a bunch of them. There's...
All right then.
Now, now that I'm
Now that
thoroughly
we
depressed.
made a left at Albuquerque, that my childhood cartoon has
Yeah.
been destroyed.
That's just...
Well, what we got for you coming up? So there have been I'll give you guys a backstory. So, and Eddie and I have had these discussions because we've run into different companies and different issues and different situations with customers and companies. Lack of follow up, lack of customer care, lack of whatever. So we're going to launch a 4-part mini series here, going through everything from dealing with the whole customer experience. So, from the estimate to the follow through, to job completion, communication during the job, and then we're going to wrap the series up with the post job follow up, the review system, and eventually how to retain your customer as a returning customer.
Right.
So we're going to hit all those in the next 4 series. So we're going to go a little bit depth in this morning, talking about the estimate and the follow up on the estimate. So before we get kicked off here, Eddie, give me some thoughts on your take as a business owner on the initial customer contact and the initial estimate.
Well,
You two shush, you're trying to skip my whole section here.
oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, did we?
Yes!
Apparently, I don't know.
Oh, well, you know what? We're going to go on the fly.
Look at this little paper. Topic 2.
Video
Question-
review.
Yes, what's right underneath of it? On a
Blank.
little checklist on the side.
Blank.
All the
Checklist
checklists on the side. Okay.
Q&A.
Oh.
My turn.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Well, all right. Pause that thought, and we'll go
Yeah.
to Tori's section before she gets bent out of shape, and then we'll come back
Already
to the
been out of
episode.
shape. Thank you.
She's in a constant state of being out of shape.
All right, Tori, what do you got?
Okay. First question, what is the most annoying show or movie you remember your kids watching when they were little? So I'm involved in this one.
Can I count you as still little since you're not an adult yet?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
No, you cannot say Gilmore Girls. You cannot say The Summer I Turned Pretty. Not an option. When I was actually little,
Oh, she tried to get me to watch some show last night
No.
called Summer I Turned Pretty, and
I
I couldn't
wasn't-
even make it through the recap.
I
was
wasn't
like, you
even
turn
trying
this
to get
trash
him to
off,
watch
I can't
it.
handle
Yeah.
It made Gilmore Girls seem a whole lot better, didn't it?
No. No.
To him it did. He said he preferred to watch Gilmore Girls.
I'd rather get kicked in the ding dong than watch Gilmore.
It's pretty rough.
Let me. Most of the stuff that
search
Riley
is
listened to,
not
I was all right, you know, because she had. Oh, I'll tell you what show I could not stand. There was
Stuff
this.
ain't an option.
There was this show called Bubble Guppies.
Oh,
I remember
man.
Bubble Guppies. I couldn't
This-
stand that show.
Stupid show was a bunch of little fish swimming around.
They were mermaids and mermen in school.
Yeah, I'm over
And their
that stuff.
teacher was
I was
a
alright
guppy.
with SpongeBob, and I was alright with Peppa Pig, and I was alright with Blue's Clues and Bob the Builder, and you know, I was alright with them, but that daggone Bubble Guppies,
Guppies, Bubble Guppies.
that show
Bubble.
drove me insane.
We just had this conversation not too long ago. There is one that annoys me from the current little one, but I'm not about to say it because then we'll be watching it for the next 3 days as our producer is trying to kick our cameras over. Oh no! As the toddler's trying to kick
The producer assistant.
Which
So-
one is it? Is it the BL?
No, don't spell it because we figured out she can spell.
She can't spell. She can read context.
The one Taylor used to watch, Strawberry Shortcake.
Oh,
That was mind numbing. No, I take it back. Wonder Pets.
oh, that
I
show's
love
gone.
Wonder Pets. The phone. The
Shut
phone is
no.
ringing.
Next question, please.
Yeah.
There's
That show
an
is
animal
gone.
in trouble. There's an animal in trouble. There's an animal in trouble somewhere. You started this.
Still sound like a dying cat when you sing all
I'm
that.
out.
I'm aware.
man.
Next question.
Okay. What is the best way to handle a rude customer?
Yeah, so
It's getting a little smoky in here.
there's a right way, and then there's a way that we would like to do it.
Yeah. So the biggest, honestly, the biggest thing is to take a moment and not say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
I really hope you don't say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's never nice.
yeah, because the first thing that comes to your mind is typically the thing that's going to get you in trouble.
So, what?
Honestly, 9 times out of 10, when you've got a customer issue, and we're going to get more into this in what we were talking about earlier in this customer series that we're going to do. But usually the customer problem is either lack of education or lack of communication. So either they're upset because they didn't understand what you were going to do or what you were talking about, or you didn't communicate it clearly enough to them. And usually if you just take a second, take a breather, set your ego to the side and you know, kind of re-explain to them what you're doing, what you're meaning. Most people with a little bit of dignity or common sense will kind of be like, okay, you know, maybe we don't agree, but at least we can walk away from it amicably. You're always going to have that one customer that you can go to the end of the moon for, and they're going to be unhappy with what you're doing.
Well, and
Sounds like a person on it.
one of the biggest things is when you do come across that customer that just is not going to be anything but rude to either you or your technician. And what I found is a lot of times they won't be rude to me. They'll be rude to Jen on the phone, or they'll be rude to Steven and Evan
That's
when
because
they're
you're scary to be mean to.
when they're in person there. So what I do as a business owner is I fire that customer. And, you know, but my first year in business, I was terrified to fire a customer. My second year in business, I learned that sometimes it's better to fire a customer than it is to continue to put up with it. Because at the end of the day, is that $250 job worth it? And that's what I have found is it's always the little cheapy jobs that the people come out of the woodwork to be rude about. The people who actually are paying us, $600 to $1,000 to do a job, they picked us because of our professionalism. They picked us because they trust us to do the job and they know we're going to do it right. And then in the unlikely that we'll fix it, those customers aren't rude because they don't want to deal with a contractor who is rude and doesn't show up, which plays right into what we're going to be talking about the next several episodes. So the best way to do the problem is to fire them. If you can't get on the same page with them, and you can fire a customer politely. You know what?
Sorry, this is
Mr. or Mrs. X, I don't think that we're the right company and the right fit for this project for you. I have 3 recommendations of other contractors you can reach out to in the industry, and I'm going to leave you with their contact information.
Yep.
And move on.
Alright, that sounds good. Alright, this is my last question. And my 6th grade health teacher asked us this. So you're going on a trip, a little boat ride on Titanic Junior.
No, I'm not.
That was my answer, but I didn't get an option, so you don't either.
I can tell you where I'm not going to be. But for argument's sake, go ahead.
You ended up on a stranded island.
That's why I'm not going on that.
It goes down, you end up on an island stranded. What is one thing you would want to have with you and one person? And I'm not saying what one thing would you take because you're not really like, oh, I'm going to crash my boat today and end up on an island alone. Like,
one thing I would want to have.
A specific thing, not like a whole broad category.
A new boat.
I don't know how you beat that answer.
That's one I haven't heard before, but that'll work. I mean,
if you said we could just make anything out of thin air,
make a new boat.
a new boat would be good.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one to follow. Say a proper clean water source, because you're never gonna build that boat if you don't have something to drink.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could do the little like shark thing, but you need something to put the water in.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain there's probably no pots and pans on this deserted island.
No, not pots and pans. You can take one thing of water and put it higher up than the other one and put a piece of fabric in it.
How about a coconut? I hope there's some coconuts there, because at least coconuts have water. I don't like coconut water, but you know what? You're on a deserted island. You get to drink what you got to drink.
See, I told
Tori would never survive because there's no way on God's green earth she'd ever eat a bug.
No, Tori wouldn't,
yeah,
which is why Tori said that she was bringing her uncle with her.
Well, you still gotta eat.
Yeah.
Tony can't eat for you.
Not that one.
Uncle Jeff.
She wants
Uncle
Jeff,
Jeff.
so there's something there to kill an
Oh.
animal so that she can eat.
I ain't doing it. You're funny. No, when my teacher asked us this, everybody in the class said, we're not going. And he said, yes, you are. You don't have a choice. I was like, let me guess. It's going to go down. He was like, I don't know. You just got to listen to the story. 30 seconds later. So the boat goes down.
Initially, I'd like to have a life jacket.
You float to the island on a crate of...
Do I have gills? No. Which means I do not belong out in the middle of the ocean.
I'm not exactly the buoyant type.
He's more of the sinking.
Yeah, I'm more of a sinker.
Yeah.
Hence why I fly airplanes and not ride boats.
What we talk about with the guys all the time, with ladder safety and all that stuff, everybody falls well. It's how you land that matters.
I don't land good. I'm not a good lander.
No, you guys land and cause an earthquake, alright?
Oh, now.
That's not nice.
Well, it's funny. So, I mean, I'm okay with it. Anyway, we're going to let y'all hear more about the companies that we like again, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Eddie with Blue Line Pressure Washing. I want to take a minute to appreciate the fact that you guys are listening and watching our podcast, and I also wanted to tell you about a company that I've been working with here recently called Home Service Business Coaching. I am not being paid to tell you about this. There's no sponsorship or any other deal worked out between Blue Line Pressure Washing or myself and Home Service Business Coach. That being said, David and the entire team at HSBC have helped me elevate my business to the next level. They've helped me develop systems for my business. They've helped me scale, as well as provided guidance and mentorship in all facets of the business. It's not a how-to program. It's not going to teach you how to do the job. It's not going to teach you how to wash a roof or how to wash a house. It's to teach you how to become a CEO basically and scale your business and do it effectively. If you want to be more profitable, get out of the service vehicles and put the right people in place to work in your business so that you can focus on becoming a CEO and growing your business, I highly recommend this program. It is, it's a high ticket item. You get what you pay for, but it is worth it. I've been in the program for several months now. I've scaled my business, grown exponentially since I've been in it, and it's definitely worth it. And Coach David, Landon, Chemo, Jackson, AJ, all top tier business coaches in sales and helping you scale and figure out what you need to do and helping you clear some of the bottlenecks in your business. So if you want to be like me and stop being in the truck all day and get in the office, surround yourself with a great team of rockstar employees, then you need to surround yourself with a great business coach. And I strongly recommend Home Service Business Coach. Their link will be in the description of the episode on the podcast on YouTube and also on Anchor Podcast. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time. We'll talk soon.
Alright, we're back. Hope you enjoyed listening to the information about those other companies. And now you two can have your little section.
We were just having this discussion, and I hate when people use that word little.
Yeah.
Because it's always it's always a connotation with it.
Yeah.
Oh, your little friends, or your little car, or your little section.
You guys say that all the time, so I don't even want to hear it. And yes, you get little because you tried to skip my section.
It drives me insane. One of the guys I work with, we were talking about this the other day. All right, so we're going to launch into part one here. So we're going to pick this up as right as soon as the company gets a call from a customer to come do an estimate. So it's your first actual contact with the customer. Now, granted, most customers should have already done some of their own research. So they've probably either contacted other companies or they've researched your online presence, your socials, or your web page, your whatever. So hopefully they've already done that, so they know a little bit about you before they reach out to you.
Yeah, so, Jen handles most of the incoming, but I can tell you what the customer is looking for when they call in is efficiency. Nobody has time anymore to waste. We're a society where mom and dad have to work in order to make a living. It's not a one-income society anymore unless you're very wealthy. So they want efficiency and they want honesty. Those are the two biggest keys. Now, when a client calls in, most of the time Jen can do an estimate over the phone with them and get them a good price, get them squared away. But what the customer is really looking for is, are you able to do it? Whether it's in person or online. Some clients would prefer in person, some prefer online, but they want to know that you're going to do it. And the key to any estimate is answer the phone.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
Or call them back if you miss it.
Nothing infuriates me more, and I'll go into a story a little bit later about some home renovation stuff that I'm working on at my house. But nothing infuriates me more than you doing research and deciding on it. I'm going to reach out to this company. You call, leave a message for an estimate, and crickets.
Yeah.
Nothing. No callback, no messages, no nothing. And I'm not talking about, we have it as well, but I'm not talking about the automated messages that they send out. I'm talking about a real actual person reaching out to you saying, hey, we've received your estimate, you're in queue or you're in schedule or what would you like, or I'm still very old school, and I know there's a lot of customers out there that feel the same way. I still want to talk to somebody. I don't want to talk to no stupid robot. I don't want to talk to an automated assistant on Facebook. I want to talk to an actual person who can help me and listen to me.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is it's okay to miss the call. Like yesterday,
Yeah,
for example,
everybody's busy.
Yeah, yesterday, for example, I was on the phone with one customer giving an estimate, and another one called while I was on the phone with them. But call the customer back in a timely fashion. If you want to be successful in business, answer the phone and return messages same day. Don't.
Yeah, within 24 hours, you should be contacting that customer.
If the customer has to call you back to get their estimate because you never returned their call, there's a problem. Like you have a big problem.
Yeah, I'm a very trust issues type of person. So if I in good faith reach out to you, and I know I'm not the only one that thinks this way. If I in good faith reach out to you because I have something that you want, which is money, right? You want to make money for your work so you can grow your business, right? I have that. You have a service that I need that I'm reaching out to pay for, right? So the very first thing that you can do to earn my trust and to start winning me as a customer is answer the phone and respond back to me in a timely manner. Because right there shows me right off the bat, number one, you're organized, you're efficient, and you care about the customer. If I call and ask you for an estimate to come out and do an estimate, and if I don't get a call back for 3 or 4 or 5 days, I get extenuating circumstances and stuff like that. I'm just talking about the average run-of-the-mill customer. And I don't hear from you for 72, 96, 120 hours, 3, 4, 5 days. That's telling me right there that number one, you're not organized because you're not prioritizing your call queues. You're not paying attention to what's going on around you because you have customers now that are waiting in the queue that's potential money that's sitting on the table, right? So that tells me your business plans probably aren't that solid. And number two, your workload is either too much or you can't manage your workload, which now sends me into trust issues in the future, right? So now, can I trust you to come to the job on time? Can I trust you to do the job correctly? Can I trust you to communicate with me during the job? And can I trust you to close it efficiently?
I wouldn't. And then one of the other big parts about business and that initial estimate, so I can tell you probably 60% of our customers that do not accept the estimate right away, that want to talk it over with a spouse. They may talk it over with the spouse, and then life happens, and they get busy, and they have to run to soccer practice, softball practice, football practice. They've got to make dinner. They've got to go to work. They get busy. They forget all about the fact that they called somebody to get an estimate in the first place. So when Jen does follow-up, I would say 60% of the customers that she follows up with and closes are, man, I'm really glad you called me back to follow up on this estimate because, to be honest with you, I forgot all about the fact that I called you. And some of these customers they're going on Google. They're seeing, hey, they got pretty good Google reviews. Let's give them a call.
Yep.
And then they're like, man, which one of these companies did I call? I can't remember who I got that estimate from. That's the nature of the world we live in. Is everything is so fast paced that there's no. It's not like you get in the yellow books anymore and circle a number. This is the company I'm going to call.
What the heck is a yellow book?
Did she say what's the yellow pages?
Yeah, she did.
It's a joke to make you guys feel old because you know you kind of are.
Yeah. Well, there are actually people out there that don't know what the yellow pages are. So.
Yeah.
It's a book with yellow pages that has a bunch of names of businesses and people.
There you
and
go.
Number and you
Well,
circle.
you learned something at least.
It's like someone asking what a Rolodex was the other night on a TV show I was watching.
Yeah. Well, but yeah,
I think I know what that is.
the people say initial impressions are key, right?
Yeah.
I believe in as a business owner and trying to win somebody's money because that's what you're doing. It's a business transaction, right? I have a service. They have what we're after, which is money. We're trying to make money for our business.
Right.
They're purchasing a service. So that business transaction, the very first thing should be the most professional and the most outstanding appearance that you can make.
I get it all the time. Jen gets it all the time. When she answers the phone, I was actually half expecting to leave a message. Or when, especially like when she does the online quotes, I'll have a quote over to you in 20 minutes. People are like, "Wow, really? You're gonna be that fast?" Well, I mean, we were expecting you to take a while. And,
No.
It's like that company we tried to get to mow our lawns.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
yeah, we got an estimate from them, but then we couldn't get them on the phone.
well, I'll tell you a little story. So, the wife and I were, well, no, so we're trying to do a deck project, right? So we're trying to replace our entire aged deck with a new deck with new material. We found a company that fit all of our needs. We reached out and scheduled an estimate. The phone call immediately was answered, right? So check one, all right, I got to talk to somebody. Check two, within a week they had us an estimate scheduled, all right? So the salesman came out and did the estimate, wrote us up the estimate. I wasn't there to talk to him, but Emmy talked to him and was absolutely blown away by his professionalism. He knew what he was talking about. He was able to quote stuff right on the spot. He knew exactly what needed to be done. There was no, well, let me talk to my boss. He knew exactly what he needed to do, right? Which right away told me, okay, this guy is organized. He's got his priorities. He knows what his job is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So within another day or two, I have an invoice in my email with an itemized estimate. This is exactly what you're going to cost. This is exactly what we need to do. So from the first point of contact until I signed the estimate, flawless. The company had absolute 5 stars. I'm not going to put the company on blast out here, but because I've already made my frustrations clear to them. However, that was on the 12th of June. So we are now sitting on the 15th of July.
Yeah.
That was the 12th of June. I did not have a single piece of contact, and I signed the estimate.
Mm-hmm.
So I had cash in the bank, ready to pay this company to schedule me to do a job, right? I did not get a single piece of communication from that office until the 11th of July. So almost 30 days from the time I signed the estimate, I didn't have a single piece of contact. That is after, within those 30 days, I contacted the home office twice to talk to the office manager. Messages were left, no return phone call. I left messages on the automated line, no return phone call. Finally, on the 5th time, I reached back out to the salesman who came out, and he told me, "Hey, I'll be in the office the next thing Monday morning." This was on the 12th of July, and I will make sure the office manager gives you a call. So no return phone call. So I finally, the wife is ready to come unglued. So I finally call, and I'm ready to cancel the estimate. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to take my money somewhere else because now I can't trust anything that you're doing, right? So I finally get the office manager on the line. Once and only once, I threatened to cancel the estimate. They said, "Well, your job has been assigned to the project manager. He's coming out today to do the drawing and everything of the project." I'm like, well, how convenient that today, when I'm on the phone canceling my order, and then come to find out the project manager has had it sitting on his desk for 3.5 weeks and never even contacted me at all.
Well, and that's where you get into the follow-up.
So yeah, exactly where we're going. So
Well, it's not the customer's job to follow up.
no, I shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to be hounding you to come take my money,
No.
right? So I should have at least in a 30-day period after the estimate, I should have been contacted by that company at least 3 times. Do you need anything else? Is there anything we can do for you? Are you ready to schedule your project, right?
Yeah. Once you hit accept, and this is what we do, which I think should be common practice, but it is amazing. It blows me away how many times I go to a customer's house and we get the we're so happy we found you. You're the only ones that call back and do this, and we think that the way you communicate is great. And I know that today's world, a lot of people are nervous about, well, you don't want to bug people. Well, you have to, because those people are busy.
Yes.
And those people want to give you their money, but they don't have time to be chasing you around to give you money. So when you accept an estimate with Blue Line Pressure Washing, within 24 hours you have a date scheduled. And it's generally, once you accept, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that's the turnaround time. Jen typically has them on the schedule within 20 minutes of them accepting the estimate.
And what's frustrating to me, at least, I'm a very reasonable person in most circumstances, right? I'm very I'm flexible if you give me a little leeway, right?
Right.
All I asked for was some communication from the company. Like I get that companies get behind. Sometimes we get behind, in scheduling materials. Waiting on materials. Sometimes the manufacturers are behind. Just sometimes your work order's behind. Yeah, sometimes it's out of your hands. But guess what? Most people out there, you always get that 2% of customers, like we were talking about, that aren't going to be happy regardless. But the majority of people out there, if you just reach out and say, hey, here's the issue we're having, we're working on it, as long as you're communicative with people and let them know what's going on and make them part of the process, usually you're not going to have any issues. You're going to retain that customer, they're going to be happy, but it's the people that just, the companies that just completely blow the customer off, basically.
Yeah.
Because their justification is that they're too busy to contact the customer, but you can't. You're not going to be too busy for much longer if you don't have any contact with the customer.
That's exactly
They're
right.
Gonna walk away.
Tori, you just nailed it. So one of the excuses that I've heard, you nailed it. One of the excuses that I've heard is, well, we're so busy. We have so many customers. We're a small company, but we're dealing with a lot of customers. Then guess what? If you are to the point where you are overwhelmed by customers at the company, then you need to reevaluate your business practices and your organization.
It's time to hire.
That means you need help in there, because if you're letting customers go simply because you can't answer the phone, eventually all of your customers are going to stop answering the phone.
Once your reputation goes down the toilet, it's down the toilet.
And a lot of people I've heard in the singular business class I was forced to take in my freshman year, a lot of the excuses that we were told were normal was people don't hire new people because they don't have the money. But if you're at the point where you're turning away customers because you have so much business and you don't have the money to hire new people, then you're making some mistakes.
What do I tell you all the time? We've got to spend money to make money.
Spend it to make it.
Yeah, especially in the first couple years, you've got to spend the money to make the money.
Well, and we're gonna get stuck in a rabbit hole and wind up giving away all 4 episodes if we continue down this path.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cut us off.
Yeah.
And basically,
I wish you would, because me trying to get Josh shut up ain't working.
well, hush. Basically, the key takeaways from today's episode and this topic that we're going on is get the estimate out in a timely fashion, follow up on the estimate in a timely fashion, and when they accept the estimate, get them on your schedule in a timely fashion. There is zero excuse. I don't care if you're booked out 4 weeks. That doesn't matter. That should be something that you should have communicated to them at the time of the estimate. Hey, we're glad to get you an estimate. I just want to let you know ahead of time that we're booked out for the next 4 weeks. But we will get you an estimate and get you scheduled if you're ready to move forward. And then once they accept those terms, get back on the phone with them, send them an email, text message, however they want to communicate with you, and get them on the schedule. Make them feel important and follow up with them. And following up is so stinking easy, especially in our...
How long does it take to send a text message or an email?
Wrap it up, would you?
It doesn't take long at all.
But I've got some statistics I want to throw out there that will go through the next
Now you just tried to cut it off, and now you're...
Well, because you didn't let me get to this.
He's the one that cut you off.
So these statistics are they're gonna replay in all 4 parts of this series. But so this is collected from the Better Business Bureau, ZipRecruiter, and Zippio. So 61% of customers have switched to a competitor after a bad customer service experience. Right? Customers will tell an average of 9 people about a positive experience, but will tell 16 people about a negative experience. I fall into this category. 52% of Americans are willing to pay a little bit more for good customer service, rather than a bad, a job. 93% of customers are likely to repeat purchasing from a company after experiencing excellent customer service.
Oh, you had to say that
100%.
particular term, didn't you?
Well, I
Would
know.
you watch it?
Go ahead.
Here's a killer. 91% of customers, and I think actually this is kind of low, but 91% of customers are willing to switch companies after one bad customer experience or customer service experience.
Yep.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yep. Because I will. In a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
absolutely.
Well, I mean, you can't. Is this based off of just small companies or just business in general?
This is all around. So
Well,
this goes from
then
large companies like Chewy and Trader Joe,
Well,
Amazon,
then
all the way down.
91% isn't really all that low, because if you ever gone, like, I know that you have gone into like a store like Martin's and had someone be rude to you.
I will walk right back out.
But see, him
Yeah.
right there, he's gone into Martin's after that, like, because I got him to go out and get me Fruity Pebbles at 10 o'clock at night, and this girl was out there being rude, and we've been back to Martin's since then.
Well,
And
I
he
mean,
just told me about repeat instances with it, so.
Well, okay, so this is something that will kind of hammer it home. So the statistics are probably a little bit low, even still, because I understand where you're coming from, but you'll see this post on Facebook quite frequently. You'll go to McDonald's and have a bad experience, but you'll keep going to McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
You have one bad experience with a small business, and you'll never go back to that small business again.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
kind of getting at, is because if it's an all-around statistic, it can't really be considered low.
Well, but how many options do you have? So here locally we have Martin's, Walmart, Aldi's,
save a lot.
Save a Lot, and Wise Markets. So I've had a bad experience in every single one of those companies, but I got to buy my food from somebody.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think you could probably honestly exclude a grocery store from that rule, because you've got to buy your food from somebody.
Okay, let's say
Yeah.
a fast food place. I've seen about 1 million people have bad experiences and still go back. Whether it's the same building or a different building, they still go back to the same place.
Yeah,
and you can't really factor in options here, because
Think about this though. The McDonald's on this end of town, the McDonald's in Spring Mills, and then the McDonald's on the other end.
Three completely
different owners. It's just a name.
mm-hmm.
So they pick one that they have a better experience with. Well, I do see your point, but we're talking a massive conglomerate company versus small business. I cannot justify saying, well, I can be rude because McDonald's is rude and they get their customers back, whereas
I'm not saying you can
Yeah.
justify it, but you guys were saying that the statistics were low. But if you actually think about the fact that there are bigger stores involved in that, it's not really all that low.
Maybe not.
yeah, maybe you might be onto something.
You got a
I
good
see your
point.
point.
We're gonna wrap the
Let's go.
statistics up with
It's gonna snow.
here's some customer opinions on a bad customer experience. Right, it can take up to 12 positive customer experiences to make up for one negative, which we kind of covered earlier. 39% of customers say a customer service representative's lack of knowledge is the most frustrating aspect of poor customer service, followed by 20% who say having to repeat information is even more frustrating, which I wholeheartedly believe. And 53%, so over half of the customers of this entire survey believe that companies don't take action on customer feedback, which I know we do. Let's see, here's some customer service bad effects, right? 91% of customers say they won't willingly do business again with a company that left them unhappy, which we talked about that. I would say give or take 8 to 10%. 78% of customers have backed out of a purchase because of negative customer experience. I just shared a story with you about that. And then almost 60% of customers would stop shopping with a brand they previously used after a bad experience. I can tell you right now, I personally boycott Nike and Target.
Yeah.
I do not buy products from either of those companies because of bad experiences, and then there's some different values and ethics and type of stuff, but businesses on a whole, according to the BBB 2022, lost about $75 billion overall
Poor
due to
customers.
poor customer service.
Wow.
So And then so I've got some more statistics, but they'll fall more into the next part.
You can wait. You can wait an episode.
Somebody's rude.
Some people are long-winded.
Alright.
You.
Alright, Tori, well, now it's your turn. Close this out.
I've been trying to do that for the last 20 minutes.
Well, now you're not doing it, you're just talking.
Yeah, because quit doing that.
Alright, I won't do it to you next episode. Go ahead and close this out.
You just did it again. Cut it out. Alright. Anyway, that's. There you go. See, you messed me up now.
Alright, so Justin, what's the title of the next episode?
So the next episode is going to be the customer interaction, scheduling the job, and communicating with the customer during the job.
Hey, there's something I don't know.
Alright, so thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions or comments, you can email them over to us at justin@bluelinepressurewashingllc.com, or you can leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/bluelinepwllc, and we look forward to talking to you guys again soon.
And also check us out on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're live video on YouTube now. Check us out on there. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and leave us some questions, comments, and we'll get back to you.
Alright, thanks guys.
All right, we're out.